Welcome back to Down in the 216. It's your boy Will here, back with another video, and today we're gonna get into an interesting topic. It's something I see get talked about a lot. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button as we get into today's videos. Y'all probably seen me, ain't seen me in a little bit. I just had my birthday recently, so I just wasn't recording. I kind of took like a mental break from everything. But now that my birthday passed, I'm about to get into the thick of things as far as with everything. But something that's been debated and talked about a lot over these last couple of weeks, ever since the Browns secured, having the second worst record in the league, this draft pick, what this draft pick can take, and what to do with this draft pick. All I'm gonna say is, everybody gonna feel the way they feel about it. But if we don't leave the draft with Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, or Abdul Carter, we got a fucking problem. Period, point blank. If we don't leave the draft with one of Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, or Abdul Carter, we have a fucking problem. Excuse my language. But that's all I care about. Now, let's talk about these four talents. You got this Cleveland Browns team. Everybody debating on what's going to happen, who's going to go number one, who's going to go number two. What is this Browns team going to do? What I think is going to happen and what I think should happen. Let's talk about it. So for one, I think one thing to keep in mind, let's talk about this whole, let's break down each player first. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. He's the most polarizing athlete coming out of this draft outside of Travis Hunter. This is a guy that has a great background football-wise. He comes from literally one of the greatest football players ever, and Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders' son. He came into what we was playing for Jackson State originally, and then he went to Colorado. And his whole life, every step of the way, this is a kid that's been doubted. This is a kid that people say isn't good enough. This is a kid that people, use his father against him. It's not really the same for some athletes for whatever reason. Some athletes, when they have a father or somebody high power, they get looked at pretty bad. But Jerry Jones, his kids run the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody says anything about it. So every time it's a little different. But Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders is a polarizing player. He comes in, he's very flashy. He comes in the camera. Look at my watch, mama. He all that. A lot of arrogance, a lot of cockiness. He reminds me a little bit of Baker. Just a little bit of Baker. Kind of the same feel. If anything, he's less of a a-hole than Baker was coming out. Because Baker had a lot of character issues. And we was all fine with drafting Baker Mayfield because he had that it, and he was gritty, and he was tough. But Baker had a lot of character issues. I'm pretty sure he ran from the police, and we still drafted him. Number one. So I think a big part of this whole Deion Sanders isn't going to let his son come to Cleveland thing is completely false, not true, and something we got to just throw away. We got to stop analyzing his dad. Period, point blank. Stop bringing his dad into the picture. He is a quarterback entering the draft. His name is Shedeur Sanders. This isn't Deion Sanders Jr. Shedeur Sanders. So let's stop bringing his dad into the picture and analyze the QB at hand. Personality-wise, leadership-wise, he passes the test. Talent-wise, we don't know how a QB will translate. Nobody knows. Let's talk about another thing. Evan Mobley, before I go into another thing, Deion Sanders saying he's going to control or say his son isn't going to come to Cleveland is completely unrealistic, and it's just an insecure thing that Browns fans are thinking because we don't think we're good enough to attract a big talent because we're trash. That's really where all this is coming from. So just assuming that Deion Sanders is going to control and do all of this. This is the same city, y'all, that loves Evan Mobley. The same city. Evan Mobley. This video is sponsored by Detrimental Figures, my brand here. As y'all see, some of the quality of my recent work. You get a signature tag on it as well. We make and really emphasize quality over quantity. So, you know, we try to take and make sure we use the best materials to come up with our shirts and the best designs. Make sure y'all following us on Instagram, Detrimental Figures. So y'all can also get the description down below and hit the link for a shirt. Everything I drop is limited edition. So unfortunately, this shirt is sold out. I don't have any more, but I have different things coming up similar to it. So keep in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated with some of my new stuff throughout these videos coming up. The same player that does not and did not want to be a Cavalier. He said and told the Cavs, his agent told the Cavs not to draft him. He still drafted here. He still plays here, and he got a contract extension. So what are we talking about? Like, what is the purpose of debating this? Like, Shedeur Sanders, if Jimmy Haslam wants to draft him, the owner of the second pick in the draft, he's gonna draft him. It's no Deion Sanders this, or he's not gonna force Jimmy Haslam, who he doesn't have more money than. He's not gonna force Jimmy Haslam to do something. Like, I don't get where this is the same guy who we thought to take Sam Darnold, and he took Baker Mayfield. This is the same guy. So you gotta know what's gonna happen, and what I think is gonna happen. Getting into that part of answering that question, I think this is gonna be whatever Jimmy wants it to be, y'all. Like, I think we gotta remember who runs the Browns. Like, this is the same team that just gave a nigga gave a man $230 million on a 3-year hiatus. Same guy. So if he's gonna do that, he's gonna draft Shedeur Sanders if he wants to. I think a lot of that outside stuff is true, but ticket sales wise, and what the Browns was doing last season ticket sale wise, if he wants this team and anybody to care about this city, he's probably going to need to get a quarterback. Which is how he's going to get a quarterback. It's going to come down to Kirk Cousins, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Justin Fields, Jameis Winston, and one of those guys. Now, out of all 5 of those guys that I just named, who do you want being a starter for 2020, 2025? I don't know, y'all. We look cooked. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know who I want to be the starter. But, you know, we still here supporting, going through it. Now, talk about Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a guy that we got to, you know, I would pick Cam Ward if I was the #1 overall, just because I like both the characteristics of both QBs. And, you know, they're both battle-tested. They both done won at every level. Shedeur Sanders, of course, he struggled. You know, that first year with Colorado, I think he didn't struggle, but as a team, they struggled. But, you know, they won at every level. I think he'll win on the NFL level. Now, if they trade the pick, okay, well, we can reevaluate and go from there. I'm trying to think where else I was going with it. I just don't feel like with Cam Ward, you know, I don't know if he's going to be there at 2. I think, you know, the Titans might draft him. Now, the Titans said they're not passing up on a generational talent at 2. I mean, at 1. So, are you going to just draft Travis Hunter? You know, are you going to draft Travis Hunter, #1? What does that do for the Tennessee Titans? So, I don't know, man. I think the Titans will probably take Cam Ward. Adua Carter is probably my least favorite pick out of the 4. And Travis Hunter is a home run pick regardless. He's going to come in and be your #1 receiver. He's going to come in and be your #2 corner. He's going to come in and create absolute havoc in that secondary. And God, as long as Denzel Ward doesn't get a concussion, knock on wood for my boy Denzel, as long as Denzel don't get a concussion, y'all, bro, who is catching a 3rd and long on them? Who is catching a touchdown on them? Travis Hunter, Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson, nastiest 3 cornerbacks in the league, period. In the debate. He don't got to play a snap of football. Greg Newsome, if you want to throw him in there, still the greatest trio of cornerbacks in the league. So he don't even got to do nothing extra to be in that category. Corner is a luxury. Receiver is not. We don't got nobody throwing the ball, which brings us back to the quarterback. Now, a dual quarter, speaking on a dual quarter, I think he'd be a home run pick regardless. I think he's going to be a good player. You know, if he makes and beats a Myles Garrett, I won't say all that. You know, maybe he makes a top NFL 100. I think he'll be a good player, though, nonetheless. You know, but if we don't get a quarterback, You're asking the city to go out there and sell out seats for who? What are you selling to your city? I think that's what we got to really think about here. Getting Abdul-Carter is fine, but then you bring in Justin Fields. Nobody's not buying them tickets, yo. Like, you got to think about what happened last year, man. The fan base as a city. I talked to a lot of different people about my Browns, y'all, and wildly across the board, everybody has kind of given up on them and kind of said, hey, you know what they do, they do. We got the Cavs, you know. I don't think next year Jimmy wants to just go in there with a bridge QB without something to sell to the city, knowing that everybody pretty much just gave up on you. Thinking of what Deshaun Watson just did to this city as far as, you know, giving them hope, and then we just was pretty much the laughingstock of the NFL. You know, unfortunately, the best solution to fix that problem is to draft Shedeur Sanders. Unfortunately. So we got to keep that in mind. And I'm not saying unfortunately like I don't want Shedeur here. Trust me, I would love to have Shedeur, Travis, Abdul, Cam. Home run picks. Welcome him in the city. But thinking about it from a money aspect, you don't think this Cleveland Browns team can win a Super Bowl next year. So what makes the most sense is to bring in a quarterback. And if Cam Ward isn't there, I wouldn't be surprised if Shedeur Sanders doesn't get drafted by this Cleveland Browns team, especially with him being kind of already pro-ready, used to taking those hits there at Colorado. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think Deion Sanders is going to veto anything. I don't know who the Browns are going to draft. It might be Travis Hunter. You know, like I said, I'm cool with any 4 picks. But we're going to see. Obviously, it comes down to what the Titans do. If the Titans take Abdul-Carter or, you know, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. If the Titans take Shedeur Sanders, I think you sprint to the table and get Cam Ward. Or you could get Travis Hunter and trade up and get Cam Ward if he starts to fall in the draft. So that's what I say, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. Y'all comment down below what y'all think gonna end up happening. We're gonna do some mock drafts coming up. I've been kind of waiting to do these mock drafts. I feel like everybody gonna flood the damn mock draft. So I want to really scout some of these prospects at the 2nd overall pick first. And then we're going to do some mock drafts and see how everything goes. But y'all make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. You know, just another edition of Down in 216. Follow my brand, Instrumental Figures. Y'all see the 777 for good luck. Y'all see we got some new stuff. You can't even see it for real. Oh! Y'all see we got some new stuff. But make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And I'm out. Peace.